Hi everyone, welcome back. Jana here with a new process video for the Alexandra Renke Creative Team or the design team, and I'm working with the just kreativBox today, and I'm just quickly showing you what's inside the box. We have some washi tape, some sequins, some envelopes, and some pretty pattern papers, and they are all ocean themed, I would say, or beach themed, or they are all in the same color scheme, and they are all very small patterned. And I was thinking about this layout for quite a while, just because the papers are very busy, and I don't know. So I just grabbed some stuff I wanted to use. I printed out some cute pictures from penguins, and then I started to think about the design, and I wanted to go with a grid design so that I can use a lot of the pattern papers in small doses. So I'm grabbing the papers with the animals, water themed animals, or and then I'm going ahead and cutting 2x2 squares out of it. And then I will grab my T-square ruler and to just get an idea what grid I want to use, how many papers I wanted to use. And so I'm just playing around, and I decided to go with 4x3 papers. So I will have 3 rows of 4 papers, and I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm just looking, and so I'm kind of playing around to get the best placement for me today. So this is my idea from the grid design, and I will have some more white space underneath all of the papers, and you will see that in a second. So everything is glued down, and now I also ruffled up all of the edges with a little scissors, just because I wanted to have something messy, and I just love how papers are looking when they are distressed. So this is acrylic texture paste from Schminke, and I used it as a primer for my papers for the background, just because I knew I wanted to bring in a lot of mixed media today, and I wanted to calm down some of the patterns. This stencil is also included in that kreativBox, and I'm using the same texture paste to get just some texture on my background. I love how this is looking, and I love when mixed media is meeting some texture paste, and you will see that peeking through, and so I totally love how this is coming together. I decided to go with 3 different Lindy Stamp Gang magical powders. I have a turquoise tone because of the color on the picture. I have a very dark blue shaker, and I have something in the grayish tone, and I'm just spritzing water on top of my background paper there where the texture paste is, and then I'm adding the powder, and I totally love how the water is reacting with the powder, or the powder with the water. And here I'm just spritzing tons of water on top of it, and now I'm working with my brush to spread the color around, and you can see there are some very dark areas, and I will work on that until I'm I'm happy with it. And I totally love how this is coming to life. I love the colors from the magical powders, and it's just fun to watch how this is working, how you can see the texture paste peeking through, how you can just play with the pigment. You can add more water, and I just had the best of time doing that. And once that is dry, I decided to stitch down all of the squares with just a white thread and a straight stitch, and this is just giving some interest. And I love to stitch on my layouts. Here you can see it, and I added 4 or 5 layers of tissue paper behind that picture, and I also decided to bring in some paper quilling drops or tiers, and I did some die cutting with the little set I have showed you at the beginning, and these are just some water themed stuff, and I can't, I don't know the English words for these. There's an anchor and a boat, and I don't know the other stuff. So it's just cute, it's small, and I wanted to use some of them in the mix of that layout. Yep. Then here I'm just playing around, and I decided to bring in some of these drops in that minty tone, and I will do that off camera. I will just grab some papers and my little paper quilling tool to get some more of these drops. You can see them right there. Then I had a look into my stash of alphas, and I decided to go with these grayish neutral tones for my title, and I did some die cutting on vellum, and I also used the word hello, that's a die from Alexandra Renke, and I used 3 layers of that, and I did some heat embossing on top. And now I'm just playing around, gluing everything down. I will also bring in some dark blue thread, and I just love how this is looking so far. I love the touch of vellum. I was thinking about white paper, but there's already so much stuff going on, and the vellum is just a soft little detail in the background. I will stitch down my title or the word penguin, and I will place a black thread, or no, the dark blue thread behind the vellum pieces. And then I will type my journaling on the typewriter, and I will cut it into little strips, and you will see that once I am done with gluing everything down. And I will stop on one point, just because you don't need to watch me doing that. I have showed you all the stuff that will go on that layout. Here you can see the stitched word, and now I will take a break. I will glue everything down, I will add some sequins and my journaling, and here you go, and I love it. And yeah, you will get some final shots at the end, and thank you so much for stopping by. That's it. Talk to you soon, and bye.